You are with Crossfire, an exclusive production of Department of Government Information, and today we have with us to talk about the development of our mother nation, Sri Lanka, member of the parliament as well as a veteran journalist, Mr. Suriyapperuma. Mr. Suriyapperuma, that's one part of the development, that is the economic development, and we are left with another two, that is the cultural development as well as the social development. When it comes to the culture, normally there had been a mindset of the Sri Lankans that because of our culture, I mean, we are not in a position to go ahead with the, the trends of the world. Because of the culture, I mean, there are some lot of barriers in the path to go forward. How do you see then, how do you respond to this?
China has its own culture, India has its own culture, Pakistan has its own culture, Indonesia, Malaysia has its own culture. Culture is no barrier for communication and getting together. Our problem is the Colombo crowd is unable to mix up with the rural crowd. Don't forget the fact that 50% of the Sri Lanka production in industrial production is done in the western province. Western province, 50% of the country's production. Now, the process is now to change the balance, not to abolish the town, but to get the benefits of the town, luxuries of the town to the villagers also. Spread it out, spread it out. So there is no culture. The country's 85% is in the rural areas, 85%. So anybody wants to mix, he must mix with them. He must mix with them. It's happening in India, China, Malaysia, Indonesia. Culture is no barrier. Culture. This Kalusudha, of course, we can't help it. He is condemned by history. He must live and die the way he wants. That we have no sympathy either. But I must tell you, look at the country. After the war, 3 million people have travelled up to Jaffna Peninsula and to the Nagadeepa. And after 500 years, they have worshipped Nagadeepa temple in Sri Lanka. Every day, lot of people, now another 3 days time, over millions going to Hambantota harbour to see this miracle. What are these things? This new harbour. Then Dehiwala Zoological Garden says, at the gate they collected last month 12 million rupees gate charges. So 200,000 people had come and visited the zoo. Same with the museum, same with the planetarium, same with lake house. The entire country is on the march. They want to see the new things in the world. People, children, mothers. For 30 years we could not travel, get out of home. Now we are going freely about. Even people who can't swim, jump into the sea and die. Now I think more than the schooling, we must give the swimming lessons to these old people, because unnecessarily a large number is getting drowned. This is a sad thing for a country. It doesn't happen in other countries. You see how the lacuna of certain areas. Now the entire country is on the march, from somewhere to somewhere, seeing the new things in the world. Now, miracles are happening. The next generation, we can't go on water and irrigation. We have to go on electricity and energy. Now for that we are ready. Now take Norochole, the electricity generation, Keravalapitia, then Upper Kotmale. I visited all these places. They are miracles, miracles all over the country. Then harbours. Colombo harbour is being extended. Only 10 ships are now coming to the Colombo harbour because lack of the jetty space.
Yeah.
Now 32 ships are coming to Hambantota after 12 months, only 2 ships will be berthed in November. So Colombo Harbour is expanding. India is a large country. It has a long coastline, but no harbours. All harbours are unsatisfactory. Indian coastline has no lagoons like ours. There are 10, 15 lagoons of our country that are very massive and good look. So now like that, the maritime area is expanding. Gentlemen, I must tell you, 15 years ago we had 12 miles of the sea as our sea area of Sri Lanka. Now it has extended to 200 miles. From there to another 300 miles at the economic zone. So we have a large area. Mr. Mahinda Rajapaksa had created an maritime zone. He had created a maritime economy. To look after the maritime economy, he had created a maritime university, marine university. And Mr. Vas, we have to get 500,000 young men to the sea. Sea is no longer a barrier. It is not the end of the land. It is a bridge between our country and the rest of the world. And water is no longer a negative factor. Water is a positive factor. And I think out of the marine wealth that we can get and the marine civilization we can get, our people get used to. Thanks to the Army and the Navy, they have created the shipping right around the country. About 500 small ships patrolling every mile in the country, and the country is safe. Police are safeguarding the citizens. Army is safeguarding the citizen. And now we are completely changing the curriculum of schools. We are completely changing the university education. I heard you have done mathematics as a young student in school. I always encourage, I push always these children start with mathematics and physics. That is the subject of the next generation. That is the subject with which you can see the sky. Higher up, higher up. Now children are going to that. I went to Maliyadeva College at Kurunagala. Principal asked me to come for a lecture. Before the lecture I said, show me the results of the last 10 years of your school, the mathematics results. He very proudly said, when I took over it was 33%, now 65%. I would have given a gold medal to the principal and come. You see, the brain has no key other than mathematics, Mr. Vas. Mathematics is the key to the brain. Every child must be encouraged without any fear. You must not frighten them about this ganite, minite business. You must slowly launch him into this thing. We are getting the new intellectual giant in this country. New intellectual giant. You must write a book on mathematics before you are 30.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Suriyapperuma, very interesting. And to talk about the other factor, that is the social factor of the development. Now with the new strategies, with the new developments and with new methodologies, we should act as a one Sri Lankan family. That should be, our prime goal and the prime objective. How do you see that? What are the capitalized positions that we look into, especially to act as a Sri Lankan family in moving towards the development of Sri Lanka?
Mr. Vas, putting a director into a director board, a Muslim gentleman, a Tamil gentleman, a Burger gentleman, a Sinhala gentleman, that is not the solution. A great integration is taking place at the lowest level. I have seen children from the north and the east who have come to schools. At Ananda College they came. They lived in the hostel and they were surprised. This is the first time we saw the city. They were taken to other places. And little by little, when they eat together, not our generation, the children, And their generation is now communicating among themselves. And all the schools, you know, the Tamil language, our children are learning with relish now. They think this make Karandona, this we must do it. The same way, Tamil officers and the elders are talking in Sinhalese. Even the president is making it a point to talk in Tamil. The religious antagonism is, I must tell you, almost nothing now.
Yeah.
Thank God, other countries, religious wars are taking place. There is religious integration. Everybody is respecting the other man's religion here in this country. This is a very noble thing that you get very rare in the Eastern countries. After this war, that ethnic part is dropping out of the mental discussion of the people today. There is a comradeship developing, new comradeship. You must thank God that new comradeship. Please don't spoil that trend.
Yeah.
That trend must be continued. Our children must learn speak to one another, and that integration must take place. I have highest hope that that integration in 10 years' time will be there.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Suriyapperuma. It was very informative, very interesting. Thank you very much once again. Yeah, you were watching the Crosswire, an exclusive production of Department of Government Information. Today we had with us a veteran journalist and at the same time a member of the Parliament, Mr. JRP Suriyapperuma, sharing his thoughts and experience, especially when it comes to the development of Sri Lanka. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure having you with us. Hope you enjoyed the show. Do join us once again next time as well for this kind of a forum. It will bring you more insights into the new developments of Sri Lanka.